I'm taking you to Lufthansa Group's aviation center in Frankfurt. Lufthansa Group has more than 300 subsidiaries and affiliated companies, offering a daily total of more than 19,000 flights to over 1,250 airports in 195 countries worldwide. That is a complex operation. Lufthansa Group has embarked on an exciting journey by collaborating with Microsoft to harness the power of AI. I'm here today with Thomas Rückert, Senior Vice President, Information Management and CIO at Lufthansa Group. Thomas kindly invited us to explore what he and his team are doing to drive the future of AI innovation at Lufthansa Group. Thomas, thanks so much for having us here today. You've been really pushing the boundary of innovation in the area of AI. Can you talk a little bit about what you're doing and what the key use cases are?
Thank you very much for the opportunity, Dominik. Yes, AI is very important technology for us because especially in our industry, there are many opportunities to improve at the customer interface, customer service, which is our primary goal, of course, but also many areas where efficiency is a topic because of manual processes, too small to automate so far, but with GenAI now, the ability to do that is becoming available. And we do use cases all over the place, but with a focus on customer.
Being a very frequent Lufthansa customer, I'm delighted to hear that your focus is on the customer experience. I also know that we've been deeply looking into the claims management process. Can you describe a bit more what you've been doing there?
That's a really good example for a successful use case. The issue that we try to solve is that our service people who are dealing with claims from customers, they get a lot of times very long descriptions of the problems, the story, what happened behind it, which our customers provide. Sometimes even a little bit in legal language because they want to make a claim. So sometimes difficult to understand and get the details the service person needs in order to actually solve the claim and to optimize that process, to make that easier and focus the service person on the decision. We use AI successfully now to shorten this text down to the actual facts the person needs, and thereby much fast track this process and also significantly improve the quality of it.
That's incredible. And what's the feedback of your employees on that new system?
It's positive, actually. You know that there's a lot of fear around AI and what it does to people's jobs, but in the end, we're using the technology to augment the service they provide. We enable them to focus on the actual decision making, the reason why we have them there, well trained and everything. So that's why the feedback in the end is positive, because the fear job will go away is not really becoming true, and the job is actually enriched.
I love how you talk about augmenting the worker. That's exactly how we at Microsoft think about it. That's also why we have that term of the co-pilot rather than the autopilot. So if I may ask, what brought you to working on this together with Microsoft?
When we look for partners, we look for certain key abilities. One is technology. Especially in a field like AI, we need partners who are at the top end of the technology because of the continuous evolvement of this. And that's what we get from Microsoft and OpenAI. This trust that we will always stay with the latest when it comes to technology. But we're also looking for scalability. We're not using AI to generate a POC and then that's it. We use it to provide 24/7 service improvements. So we need something that we can then continuously evolve to make better. So we need consistency in that relationship. We need partners who are supporting that kind of approach. All circumstances we find with Microsoft and maybe not with everybody else. That's why so far Microsoft has been a good partner with us, and if we keep having successes like with the claim management, that will of course continue.
Thank you for that wonderful feedback. Certainly we feel very privileged to be on that journey together with Lufthansa Group. You mentioned scaling. How do you think about bringing scale to AI and moving beyond the POCs?
Yeah, we're in an interesting phase at the moment. I see it from my peers with other companies. They are all in the same place, exploring still. Where can we reuse this technology and apply it? We are currently, as I said, initially focused on the customer. There's two reasons for this. The one is customer is our primary focus. The second is that internally, when you deal with employees in Germany, there are a lot of additional things we have to look at. We have to reach agreements with Workers' Council. So that is making us not faster, let's put it like this. And this kind of topic is still a huge opportunity. But there are also other things, no? Like I said, a special opportunity for this industry, because we have many cases where processes are very manual because the sample size is very small. No? So, with this technology now, automation that in the past was not feasible simply because of that limited size now becomes applicable, no? Because it's so easy to apply. And we're using it to push boundaries for our industry. One limiting factor for us that we can use it to provide information search to mechanics more efficiently, but to use it to actually replace part of their work is a different topic. We're working on a use case with EASA, Aviation Authority, to eliminate the need for human compliance, confirmation at the end, for instance, of a daily check to do a tire check, which technology-wise is simple. For an AI to take a picture and then evaluate if the tire is in good condition is simple. To then be able to, just on that information, confirm the task without a mechanic actually still going to the tire is what is really needed. And again, that should not create fear, because we have a huge need of personnel in that area. It's a lack of staff, and the outlook for this is even worse. I would say we're still in this mushrooming phase a little bit, but really looking forward to do this at more scale.
I love the mushrooming phrase. That's certainly something we're seeing across industries, and I also love to hear about how you're pushing the boundaries at the industry level to kind of take the things that are technically possible also to a certification level. Now, what do you think is ahead?
What lies ahead is that I think 26 and 25 will be the years where we really apply this at full scale. This year we have been focused a lot on setting the foundation when it comes to technology, using use cases to make it understand what we need and have it available. But also in regards to working with the Workers' Council, we have a few successful use cases there now too. And as I said, working with EASA to set the boundaries there and then really do that at scale. That's the outlook of us going forward with AI, because we see there is a huge potential for optimization. And coming back to customer, more customer-centric service providing.
I certainly hear the customer centricity. Thanks so much for the wonderful partnership with Microsoft. Thank you for spending the time with us today, and we are looking forward to the continued journey in 25 and 26.
So do we. Thank you, Dominik.
Thank you.